What's your I did not see that one coming story? My 15-year-old son Jake started sleepwalking every single night about 3 months ago. Not just getting up and wandering around, I'm talking full conversations, making elaborate meals, even sitting at his desk doing calculus homework while completely unconscious. At first, my wife and I thought it was hilarious. Jake would wake up the next morning completely confused about the perfect grilled cheese sandwich sitting on the counter, or the detailed essay about World War II that he apparently wrote at 2 a.m. His handwriting was neater when he was asleep than when he was awake. But then things got really weird. During these nighttime episodes, Jake started speaking fluent Spanish. The problem? Jake doesn't know Spanish. He's been taking French at school for 4 years and can barely order a croissant in Paris. I started recording him because nobody would believe this. One night, I caught him having a full 20-minute conversation with someone invisible in our kitchen. He was asking questions, pausing for responses, even laughing at jokes only he could hear, all in perfect Spanish with what sounded like a Mexican accent. I was seriously worried my kid was having some kind of mental breakdown, so I took the recording to my neighbor Maria, who moved here from Guadalajara. When I played it for her, her face went completely white. She made me replay it 3 times. He's talking to a little girl named Rosa, she whispered. He's asking where her parents are, why she's crying, and if she wants him to make her some hot chocolate. He keeps telling her everything's going to be okay. I thought Jake was losing his mind. Then, 2 weeks later, this elderly woman knocked on our front door. She was tiny, maybe 80 years old, with kind eyes and hands that shook slightly. She just moved into the house next door after her daughter brought her up from Guatemala. She introduced herself as Carmen Rodriguez and said she'd seen Jake through our kitchen window during one of his late-night episodes. When she described what she witnessed, a teenage boy speaking Spanish to an empty room, setting out 2 cups like he was serving tea to an invisible friend, I knew she'd seen the same thing we had. That's when Carmen started crying. She told us her granddaughter Rosa used to live in our house with a foster family about 4 years ago. Rosa's parents had died in a car accident, and she'd been placed with this family while Carmen fought the system to get custody from Guatemala. Rosa was only 8 years old and spoke mostly Spanish. She was learning English in school, but felt more comfortable in her native language. The foster family was kind, but didn't speak Spanish, so Rosa often felt isolated and scared, especially at night. One morning, the foster mother found Rosa had died peacefully in her sleep from an undiagnosed heart condition. Carmen had been trying to bring Rosa to live with her, but the paperwork took too long. She'd never gotten to say goodbye. Carmen said Rosa used to be terrified of the dark and would wander the house at night looking for someone to comfort her. She'd go to the kitchen and pretend to make tea parties, talking to imaginary friends who could understand her. That night, I decided to stay awake and watch Jake's episode myself. Sure enough, around 1:30 a.m., he got up and walked straight to the kitchen, but this time was different. Instead of his usual animated conversation, he walked to the corner near the window and sat down on the floor. He started speaking Spanish again, but his voice was gentler, almost parental. He kept nodding and making soft sounds, like he was listening carefully to someone. I recorded the entire 15-minute conversation. The next morning, I took it to Carmen. As I played the recording, tears streamed down her face. Her hands were shaking as she translated, "He's telling Rosa that her abuela is here now, that she's been looking for her and loves her very much. He's saying it's okay to stop being scared, that her grandmother will take care of everything now." At the end, he tells her, "You can go home now, pequeña. Your abuela is waiting for you." Jake never sleepwalked again after that night. When I told him what had been happening, he didn't remember any of it, but he said he'd been having these incredibly vivid dreams about a sad little girl who just wanted someone to understand her. Carmen visits us every week now. She says she finally feels like Rosa found peace.